If we are asked to evaluate an algebraic expression, all that means is they want us to find the value of the expression when x or y or whatever the variable is a particular value. So let me show you. For example, if we want to evaluate this expression x plus x plus x when the x value is 1, all that means is where we see an x, we put a 1, and we work out then that x plus x when x is 1 is going to give us an answer of 3. We're not actually going to deal with the negatives this year. We'll leave that for grade 8 when we've got more experience with dealing with negative numbers. Okay, so what will, if we ask to evaluate x plus x when x is 10, again, it'll be 10 plus 10 plus 10, and so the answer is 30. So when x is equal to 10, this expression is 30. Okay, what about 3x? Now remember, in algebra, 3x just means 3 times x, right? We discussed that. The multiplication is often left out in algebra. In fact, it's mostly left out. So when we see 3x, we need to understand that that means 3 times x. If we want to evaluate that when x is equal to 1, we'll get 3 times 1, and that is 3. Okay, you do it now. Pause the video. What will 3x be when x is 10? All right, hopefully you got that easily. It's 3 times 10, which is 30. Now, you probably noticed we're getting the same answers for this one and for this one. And that should make sense to you, right? Because if we take an x and we add another x to it, we've got 2 x's, and we add another x to it, we've got 3 x's. So in other words, x plus x is exactly the same as 3x. And so we'd obviously expect that no matter what value of x we evaluate it for, we're going to end up with the same answer. Because if you add something together 3 times, it's exactly the same as multiplying by 3. Okay, what about 2x plus 1? If we evaluate that when x is 1, we get 2 times 1 plus 1, and that gives us 3. And when x is 10, we get 2 times 10 plus 1, and that is 21. All right, why don't you try and do the same thing for 2x plus x and for 3x squared? Pause the video now, do it, and then we'll go over it together. All right, so 2x plus x, that's going to be 2 times 1 plus x is 1, we'll get 3, right? And then this one will be 2 times x, so it's 2 times 10 plus, and x is 10 again here, plus 10, so we're going to get 20 plus 10, which is 30. And do you notice that we're again getting this exactly the same answers as for those two? And that's obviously because if you've got 2x, that means 2 lots of x, and you add on another x, you're going to have 3 lots of x. So it's going to be exactly the same as 3x, which we saw was exactly the same as x plus x plus x. All right, what about 3x squared? Here you go 3, and then you take 1 squared. 1 squared is 1 times 3 is 3. And for 10, it'll be 3 times 10 squared. 10 squared, 10 times 10 is 100, times 3 is 300. And that you can get very, very complicated in what you have to evaluate. You know, we could do 2a plus b squared when a is 2 and b is 3. Well, all you have to do there is what you're asked to evaluate. You means put a is 2 and b is 3, and you work out what the answer is. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9, and 9 plus 4 is 13. All right, so evaluating, very simple. Just simply put the numbers in place of your variables, and then you'll work out your answer.